Hey guys, in today's video I'll be going over the quotient rule. The quotient rule is simply a rule which states when you're dividing two functions, one over the other, how you differentiate them. So in this example, for the quotient rule, if you have two functions, let's call them f of x and g of x, which are both differentiable, then you end up with g of x times the derivative of f of x minus f of x times the derivative of g of x over g of x squared. So for problem 1, we have f of x is equal to 5 over 4x plus 1. So first of all, I'm just going to rewrite the quotient rule. So f of x over g of x prime is equal to g times f prime minus f times g prime over g squared. So this will give you the function g, which is 4x plus 1, times the derivative of function f, which is just 0, minus function f, which is just 5, times function g prime, so this would just give you 4, over function g squared, so 4x plus 1 squared. So this is just 0. This gives you minus 20 over 4x plus 1 squared. So that's the solution for the first problem. So for the second problem, we have f of x is equal to cosine of x over x plus sine of x. So f over g prime is equal to g of x, which is x plus sine of x, times the derivative of f of x, which is minus sine of x, minus f of x, which is cosine of x, times the derivative of g of x, which is 1 plus cosine of x, all over g of x squared. So x plus sine of x squared. I can simplify this by multiplying out the minus sine of x and minus cosine of x, so you end up with minus x sine of x minus sine squared x minus cosine of x minus cosine squared x all over x plus sine of x squared. So here's your solution for the second problem. So for problem 3, we have f of x is equal to 3x to the 4 plus 2 over 3x to the third minus 2. So f over g prime is equal to derivative of it's just g of x, so 3x to the third minus 2 times derivative of f of x, which is 12 x to the third minus f of x, which is 3x to the 4 plus 2 times the derivative of g of x, which is 9x squared, all over 3x to the third minus 2 squared. So we can simplify this to 36x to the 6 minus 24x to the third minus 27x to the 4 minus 18x squared, all over 3x to the third minus 2 squared. So we can simplify this even further, but that's just basic arithmetic. I'll just leave it like that. So here's your solution for the third problem. So for problem 4, we have f of x is equal to 11 over 4x plus 1 squared. So you would get f over g prime is equal to g of x, which is 4x plus 1 squared, times derivative of f of x, which is 11. So derivative of that is 0, minus f of x, which is 11, times derivative of 4x plus 1 squared. We have to use a chain rule. So 2 times 4x plus 1 times the derivative of inside the parentheses, which is 4, over 4x plus 1 squared. But don't forget, we have to square this as well. So if you simplify this further, this crosses out. This will give you 22 times 4, 88, times 4x plus 1, over 4x plus 1 to the 4th. We can simplify this even further. So 88 over 4x plus 1 to the 3rd. So here's your solution for the 4th problem. So for problem 5, we have f of x is equal to 4x to the 3rd minus 3x to the minus 2 over e to the 2x minus x squared raised to the 2nd power. So f over g prime is equal to g of x, which is e to the 2x minus x squared raised to the 2nd power, times the derivative of f of x, which gives you 12x squared plus 6x to the minus 3rd minus f of x, which is 4x to the 3rd minus 3x to the minus 2 times the derivative of g of x. So in this case we have to take the chain rule, so this gives you 2 to the e to the 2x minus x squared. Now we have to take the derivative of inside the parentheses, and derivative of e to the 2x is just e to the 2x times the derivative of 2x, so this gives you 2. So now we take the derivative of minus x squared, so this gives you minus 2x, all over e to the 2x minus x squared to the 2nd power. So now we have to raise this again to the 2nd power. So we're essentially done. I'm just gonna simplify this even further. So this gives you e to the 2x minus x squared raised to the 2nd power times 12x squared plus 6x to the minus 3rd minus 2 4x to the 3rd minus 3x to the minus 2 times e to the 2x minus x squared times 2 e to the 2x minus 2x all over e to the 2x minus x squared raised to the 4th power. So here's your solution for the 5th problem.
Alright guys, that's it for today's video. I hope this video was helpful to you, but if you do have any questions or suggestions, you can always comment down below. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.